Imagine a world where the most popular songs on the radio were only in English. That was the reality for decades, until a specific group of artists decided to change the rules of the game. They didn't just translate their lyrics, they forced the entire world to dance to their rhythm. We're looking at the 10 legends who broke the sound barrier, leading up to the man who just announced he'll make history at the 2026 Super Bowl. But to understand the future, we have to start with the melody that woke up the world. 10. Luis Fonsi. History was made because Luis Fonsi had a dream. He literally woke up one morning with the melody of Despacito playing in his head, and he knew he had to record it before it faded away. Fonsi ran to his home studio to capture the chorus, but he knew the song needed a special urban energy to truly fly. This is when he called Daddy Yankee to add his magic. The song was already a hit in Latin America, but it became a global phenomenon when Justin Bieber heard it in a nightclub in Colombia and asked to join the remix. The impact was immediate and historic. Despacito became the first YouTube video to hit 5 billion views and tied the record for the longest-running #1 song on the Billboard Hot 100. It shattered 7 Guinness World Records and proved that a Spanish song could dominate the entire planet without changing its language. While Fonsi was dreaming up melodies that would break records, our next artist was painting houses in Miami. 9. J Balvin. Before he was a global fashion icon and music superstar, J Balvin was just Jose, a Colombian immigrant working illegal jobs in the United States. He spent his days painting houses in Miami and walking dogs, sweating under the sun and dreaming of the stage. He even nicknamed his beat-up car Rayo and drove it around hoping for a break. But unlike many before him, Balvin made a bold promise to himself. He would never cross over by singing in English. He wanted the world to come to him. He kept that promise and won. Balvin became one of the best-selling Latin artists in history, collaborating with Beyoncé and Cardi B while keeping his lyrics in Spanish. He challenged the idea that you had to change your culture to succeed in America. He famously said he wanted to invite the mainstream into his world, not the other way around. Balvin refused to change his language, but decades earlier, a legendary band fought an even harder battle just to get their drums on the radio. 8. Gloria Estefan.
Shake your body, baby, do that conga. No, you can't control yourself any longer.
It's hard to believe now, but record executives once told Gloria Estefan that her music was too Latin for the American radio. When she and her husband Emilio presented their hit song Conga, the label rejected it. They said the percussion and horns would never work for a general audience and told them to remove the Latin sound. Gloria refused. She told them that Conga was the single and that she was going to prove them wrong. She was right. Conga exploded in popularity, becoming the first song to crack the Billboard Pop, Latin, Soul and Dance charts simultaneously. Gloria Estefan became the queen of Latin pop, selling over 100 million records. She didn't just open the door for herself, she held it open for everyone else. She paved the way for the Latin explosion of the 90s. Gloria fought the system to be heard, but our next superstar actually had to fight to stay hidden, recording his first songs in secret to escape his father's shadow. 7. Enrique Iglesias.
Don't stop that body, don't stop bailando, bailando.
Enrique Iglesias had the most famous last name in Latin music, but he didn't want to use it. As the son of the legendary Julio Iglesias, he knew people would say he only succeeded because of his dad. So as a teenager, Enrique secretly borrowed money from his nanny to record a demo tape. He shopped it around to record labels using the fake name Enrique Martinez, pretending to be an unknown singer from Guatemala. His plan worked. He signed a record deal on his own talent, and once the secret was out, he became unstoppable. Enrique evolved from a ballad singer into the king of Latin pop. He holds the record for the most #1 songs on the Billboard Hot Latin Songs chart with 27 hits. He also dominated the dance charts, proving he could make people cry with a ballad and dance in the club. But our next pioneer started even smaller, selling his music straight out of the trunk of his car. 6. Daddy Yankee. Long before he was selling out stadiums, Daddy Yankee was selling mixtapes on the street of Puerto Rico. He was a pioneer of a new underground sound that eventually became known as reggaeton. But his biggest breakthrough came from a simple moment of observation. One day he was standing on a balcony in the projects when he heard a man on the street shouting at a girl, "Como le gusta la gasolina?" Yankee heard the phrase, and his musical brain instantly turned it into a chorus. That moment created Gasolina, the anthem that introduced reggaeton to the entire world. It was the spark that turned a local genre into a global industry. Daddy Yankee became the big boss, and in 2004, his album Barrio Fino became the top-selling Latin album of the decade. He didn't just create a hit, he created a culture. Recently, Gasolina became the first reggaeton song inducted into the National Recording Registry, cementing his legacy as a true revolutionary. 5. Ricky Martin. If you look at the history of Latin music in the United States, everything changed on the night of February the 24th, 1999. Ricky Martin was already a star in the Latin world, but he was still relatively unknown to English speakers. The night of the Grammy Awards, he walked onto the stage to perform The Cup of Life. What happened next was pure magic. His energy, his dancing, and his charisma were so electric that he received a standing ovation from the toughest crowd in the business. Madonna and Sting were seen clapping on their feet. That 4-minute performance is credited with launching the Latin explosion. It paved the way for his massive hit Living La Vida Loca and opened the door for every other artist on this list to cross over.
Is into superstitions, black cats and voodoo dolls.
Ricky Martin proved that Latin music was not a niche, it was a main event. He turned the Grammys into a party and invited the whole world to join in. But years earlier, a young woman from Texas was breaking attendance records by learning to sing in a language she didn't even speak. 4. Selena. Selena Quintanilla is the eternal queen of Tejano music, but many fans don't realize that English was her first language. As a young girl growing up in Texas, she had to learn Spanish phonetically to sing the songs her father wrote. She learned the lyrics by sound before she fully understood the words, creating a bridge between Mexican and American cultures that millions of people could relate to. Her impact was quantifiable and massive. In February 1995, she performed at the Houston Astrodome for the renowned livestock show and rodeo. She drew a crowd of over 61,000 people, shattering attendance records previously held by country music legends. Wearing her iconic purple jumpsuit, she put on a show that remains the gold standard for Tejano music. Selena conquered the Astrodome with Cumbria, but our next legend conquered the world by mixing Latin rhythms with the psychedelic rock of the 1960s. 3. Carlos Santana. Carlos Santana didn't just play guitar. He changed the vocabulary of rock and roll. His performance at Woodstock in 1969 is legendary. Under the influence of psychedelics, he famously hallucinated that his guitar neck was a snake he had to wrestle. Yet he delivered Soul Sacrifice, a performance so powerful it introduced Latin rock to the American masses. But his revolution didn't end in the 1960s. 3 decades later, Santana orchestrated one of the greatest comebacks in music history. His 1999 album Supernatural won 9 Grammy Awards in a single night, breaking the record held by Michael Jackson's Thriller. He proved that the fusion of African rhythms, blues, and Latin percussion were timeless. By collaborating with younger stars like Rob Thomas and Mana, he showed that a true revolutionary sound never gets old, it just gets stronger. 2. Shakira.
Oh my God!
Shakira's unique style began in a restaurant when she was just 4 years old. Hearing the Arabic doumbek drum, she instinctively jumped on a table and started belly dancing, connecting with her Lebanese heritage. She combined these moves with Latin rock to become a sensation in Latin America. However, her global takeover required a massive risk. She spoke very little English when she decided to make a crossover album, Laundry Service.
All the damage she's caused is unfixable.
It was Gloria Estefan who convinced her she could do it. Gloria even offered to translate songs for her, but Shakira was determined to write her own lyrics to keep her spirit authentic. She studied English poetry and rhymes relentlessly. The result was Whenever, Wherever, a smash hit that made her a global icon.
Whenever, wherever, we're meant to be together. I'll
She went on to co-headline the 2020 Super Bowl, bringing her table dancing roots to the biggest stage on earth. Shakira brought the house down at the Super Bowl, and now the torch has been passed to the man who went from bagging groceries to headlining the 2026 show. 1. Bad Bunny. The new king of Latin music is Benito Antonio Martinez Ocasio, known to the world as Bad Bunny. His journey is the ultimate underdog story. Just a few years ago, he was working as a bagger at an Econo supermarket in Puerto Rico, writing songs in his head during his shifts. He didn't change his style, his voice, or his language to fit in. He forced the world to catch up to him. Now he stands at the absolute top. His album Un Verano Sin Ti became the most streamed album in Spotify history.
Si yo no te escribo, tú no me escribes. Ey.
And the NFL has officially confirmed that Bad Bunny will headline the Super Bowl LX halftime show in February 2026. He'll be the first solo Spanish-language act to lead the event. These 10 artists did more than just make music. They shifted the culture of the entire world. They turned local sounds into global anthems and opened doors for future generations to walk through. The revolution they started is far from over. In fact, it's just getting started.